Hello and welcome back. If you're new to my channel or stumbled across this video by accident, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Yvette Quale, and on my channel I like to share craft tutorials on junk journaling, beadwork, paper crafting, and more. In today's video, I'm going to show the second part of creating these cute little junk journal jewelry charms. That's very hard to say, so I'm only probably going to say it once. And in the first video, I did show how to make the paper covered wood base for the top. And today we're going to walk through how to make the dangles. So I have a few samples here so that we can refer to those as I go along. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the supplies you're going to need. So I'm going to approach this as if you have never done anything with jewelry or beads and you have no idea what you're looking at on my table today. So if you want to skip ahead, that's fine. I'm sure you can find a spot. I'll try to link a spot and put it in the description box with a timestamp of what you can go to skip past all this. But I do want to walk through this because a lot of people on my channel are new to crafting in general and may not know what these are. So the first thing we're going to talk about is this thing here called an eye pin. So an eye pin has a pre-formed loop on the end there, and it's just a straight shaft of metal. Now these come in plated, like silver or gold plated. They come in copper, bronze, they come in all different kinds and different gauges. These are very thin, and that's fine for what we're doing. They're flexible too, as you can see here. Some of them are bent, so you'll want to straighten those out if you're using those. They're still usable, you just have to straighten them out with your tools. The second thing I'm going to show you is called a straight pin. Now it's very much like an eye pin, but on the end you have like a little, you can't hardly see it there, it's like a little nail head on there. And so let me show you the difference on the dangle here. So these little ones are on a straight pin. They just, at the bottom there, you can see that it's just a straight little dab of metal. The middle one, I don't have a dangle on it, I just left it open, but that's an eye pin. So the bottom part is a little loop. And the thing you can do with an eye pin is you can then attach a straight pin, make a loop at the top and attach it to the bottom there of your eye pin, and then you have a little dangle on the end of your dangle. So there's that. Now the next thing we're going to need is some jump rings. Now I have used in my samples here two different kinds. I'm going to show you the most common, which is a round jump ring. Now there's these things called there's jump rings, and then there's split rings. Now I'm going to show you the difference so that you know what you're looking for. So a jump ring is a one continual piece of wire made into a circle, and as you can see here, let me open this up. You can open this, slide something over it, and then close it again. Okay, so that's a jump ring. Now I do have a sample here. I didn't take it out of the bag, so give me a minute while I get one out of the bag here. These are split rings. So these can still be used, but not in the same way. So a split ring, and I don't know if you can see it there, a split ring goes around twice. So it's kind of like, you know, those keychains where you put the key on and then you have to go around and around. It's like that, but it's little teeny tiny. So these don't open up, so you can't just slide something on there very easily. Now, you can take a jump ring and open it up like this and put the put the split ring onto the jump ring, and then attach your dangle to the split ring. Okay, and that gives you a little more stability, but this does not open up the split ring. Only the jump ring opens up. So just so you know, when you're looking for those, don't get a split ring unless you're going to use them for that purpose. So I don't use those very often, but sometimes they're nice if you have a little heavier bead in your dangle and you want it to be a little more secure. You can just attach it to the jump ring, then attach the jump ring to your charm. So the other item that I used in the samples is a triangular jump ring. So here is a sample of that. Now these are made that you open them up like this. If I can get that to open. And you put like a little crystal drop bead in there or something like that. Now, I don't use them that way all the time. Sometimes I just use it as a jump ring. These are particularly nice here for the top, and let me show you the top of your charm, because you can put that in there, and then as soon as I can get my tool here, you can open that up and slide it in, and you can see it gives you a little bit more room in there than a regular round ring would give you. And then at the top you can attach your ring, because when you attach your bulb pin or whatever you're going to hang this from your journal, hold on just a minute. There we go. So when you attach these, now when you put this back, this is a little tip here. When you put this back, you want to take your pliers and you want to pinch that together on the end there, so you get a nice close. And that'll help you so they don't just fall off. So as you can see on this charm here, we have the face of the charm facing me, and then we have a jump ring that goes the other way, and then we have a jump ring that goes the same way as the charm, so that when I put my bulb pin in there, this is going to hang properly. If you don't have this in there, let me show you, and you just hang it from here, your charm hangs crooked. Okay, and if you put it right into there, you can do that, but it's kind of more dangly, I guess is the word, if you put a couple jump rings on there. So you always want to make it so that it's flush to the charm. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about tools. So I have these pliers that are round nose pliers, and we're going to need those to make the loops at the top of the eye pins and the straight pins. This tool also has a cutter on them. Not all tools are like that. So over here I have a sample of one that is just the round nose pliers, and this one is just a cutter. And so depending, sometimes this becomes a little awkward, especially because it's bigger. It becomes a little awkward when you're working with things. So in today's video I'm going to probably use this little one. I might jump back and forth, but you'll get the idea. So we're going to start over here, and I've pre-strung all of my eye pins and my stick pins. That's just putting beads on. The main thing you want to do there is make sure that your beads, number one, are big enough to go over the wire, and number two, small enough to not go over the pin at the bottom, or especially on the straight pin. If you have too small or too big of a hole, your bead will come right off. So keep that in mind when you're designing a pattern. Now I like to have things symmetrical, but I don't like them to be exactly perfectly the same. So as you can see here, each one of these has a different basic pattern to the dangles. So that's how we're going to do this, just how I work. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with this one. And you can see I have, I don't know, let me measure it because I'm really terrible at measuring. So that's about 1.5 inches. You're going to want to have about 1 inch. So we're going to cut a little bit off of there. And I don't measure this, I just kind of eyeball it now, because we have two charms that we want to be about the same length. We're going to have to kind of measure those the same. So I just put it over here so that when I do this one, I can kind of guess how much I'm taking off. So the first thing we're going to do is take our round nose pliers, and because this is a straight pin, it doesn't matter which way we go. We're just going to take this, and you're going to leave a little gap. I'm talking about the width of the plier between the bottom bead and the plier. And you're going to bend it. I bend it away from me. Then you're going to take the end of it over here, and this is a little tricky at first when you're learning, but that's how we learn. And we're going to grab the end of that with our pliers, and you're just going to start turning it, and I let go and I pick it up again, and I let go and I pick it up again, because you're wanting this to come around, and as you can see there, it's making a little circle. you're going to want that to come around, and you're going to want that to touch back onto that main wire. Okay? And you just you have to kind of manipulate it, pick it up and move it around, straighten it up until you get it where you want it. Okay? Then we're going to put a jump ring on. So this depends on if you have a dangle at the bottom, because if you do, you're going to have to measure for that as well. So we're just going to stick this in here, and hopefully I have a big enough jump ring here. I think I do. Maybe not. I might have to use my triangle ones. Now these come in different sizes, but I only have like super tiny or this medium size. They do come in a larger size, but I don't have any. So I'm going to take that out, throw it away because it's too damaged. So I'm going to use one of these triangle ones. And with that, I'm going to just slide that in. See how that gives a little bit more room, or a larger eye pin or larger jump ring would have done that too. So go ahead and squeeze that together. Now you don't want to squeeze too hard. I usually put my finger in between here, in between the handles, because then I'm not going to squeeze really hard. Otherwise they'll cross over each other, and that's not good. So I put the one on. Now I'm going to put a round one on. Okay. And this one you're going to attach your little loop there. And you're going to put that in here around the other jump ring, and you're going to pull that together, and then you're going to squish it shut, just like that. Okay, so there we have our first dangle on there. Now we're going to do our second one. Watching my time here. So that's about the right length there, so we're just going to bend it over. Now as you can see here, we have a loop at the bottom. Okay, and we're going to put a dangle on there, but it doesn't, the dangle that we're putting on there, it's going to be this one. It's not going to need to be facing forward. If you have a little charm like a little bee or a butterfly, you need to make sure that you're bending this the right way so that it lays on there the same way and will be face forward. So go ahead, we're doing the same thing. Just going to bend this over back into itself. Now as you can see, it's a little crooked at the top there, so you just take it and bend it how you want it, kind of manipulate it softly, gently. Okay, then we're going to take another one of these triangles, since I figured out that my dangle was a little, my holes there were a little too far away for the jump rings I have. We're going to go ahead and put that on there. Whoops. It's on my sweater somewhere. All right, let's try this again. Oh, a hush comes across the crowd. Yeah, I am by myself, but you know, sometimes being by myself means I'm with at least 3 other people. So, all right, let's get that in there. Maybe it's so easy when you're all by yourself alone in your room and not talking to other people, right? Okay, so that's on there. Pinch it together, get our jump ring, our round jump ring. We're going to open that up, put our dangle on, attach it to our other jump ring, close it, and pinch it together. Okay, now down here we're going to put this stick pin or straight pin. We're going to do the same process, bend it over. Oops, I'm off camera there, sorry. Grab that up. Now you'll find one bead is actually a little more difficult than having several beads, and that's okay. If I make the mistakes, then you see me make them, and you're okay if you make them, right? Okay, so we're going to grab a jump ring here. Now I could grab a smaller jump ring. I'm not going to dig in my stuff here for now. but I probably would use a smaller ring on there. And again, you don't need a jump ring on there. You can just attach it right onto the bottom of that, but the jump ring does give it a little bit more play when it's dangling down there. So as you can see how that just kind of dangles there, coming together nicely, right? Okay, this one we're going to cut off. Remember that to make it even, we're going to cut off about the same amount. Try to anyway. And then we're going to bend that over and away. Grab the end. Come on. And grab that end. Twist it up. Straighten that up. Hear a grinding noise in the background. My husband is outside fixing some siding, so you might hear that from time to time as we're working here. Okay. And we're going to grab this. Oops, I forgot my other ring. Triangle ring. Pull that over. Close it off. Now we can put this one on. Pull it over. Close it off. Then we're going to put at the top, just like we did on this, we'll put a triangle in a round one. And there's our charm completed. Okay, so let's go to our next one here. See if I have time to do this. And you're just going to fold that over, grab the end, pull it over. Straighten it up. Grab a triangle one. If I wanted 4 or 5, I could only get one, right? But because I want one, I get 4 or 5. Oh. Like I said, you might do better with the bigger pliers. I tend to like the smaller ones. Depends on a lot of different things. Patience being one of them. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put this on there. And as you can see, sometimes they don't like to do what you want it to do. In this case, you can get a flat pair of pliers and do that, but I didn't have those out, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so we have that. And this one we can actually make pretty long. I'm going to put that back over there. I forget what I'm doing. So I'm going to just bend this over. Oh my goodness, I'm completely off camera there. Sorry. So we're going to bend this over. I probably have been the whole time. I'm just talking. All right, so we're going to bend that over. Make our loop. Then we're going to take a round jump ring. Open that up. Close that off. And that one is done. have that one. Okay, the next one is a three dangle, and I'm going to put these little teardrop charms on the end of them. So I just do this. Grab a jump ring. See if I can make this work without a triangle one in there. I think these are close enough that I can maybe do it. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so then everything's falling apart. All right. Get that in there. Then we can just take this and put it on there. Either side. Oh, come on. You know you want to. Okay. So sometimes it gets a little tricky, but that's okay. We have patience, don't we? Oh, come on, you. Okay, now we're back in business. We'll do it. There we go. So yeah, if you have that hole close enough to the edge, you don't have to put in a second jump ring there. Unless, of course, you want to. Okay, this one's longer, so we're going to cut that down. Bend it over. Bring it back. Get our jump ring. Oh, come on now. Okay. A little tough to get them through sometimes, but perseverance. Okay, so we're going to pull those together. Pinch those together. There's our second one. Now when you do this and you have a really long part, you don't want to throw that away because you can actually use this part on another dangle by just making a loop on the ends. The Frugal Crafter. I bet there's somebody with that name. Sorry. All right. Like that. Get a jump ring. Now you don't want to move these too far apart. You'll notice I don't make them straight because then they're really hard to get back in and get looking good. Put that in. Give it a little pinch there. All right, so there's our 3 dangles. Now we're going to add this little charm on the end of each one. Like this. Well, maybe. So this little guy already comes with this little thing, and they didn't make it right, so I gotta fix it. There we go. All right, I think we're running out of time here. Yeah, we're running out, so I'm not going to be able to do that last one there, but we'll go ahead and finish this one. So I did want to mention I have in the description box a new link to a way that you can help support my channel and what I do here, and it's called Buy Me a Coffee. I'm sure you guys have heard of that, and I would appreciate it if you look into that, and if you feel like you want to contribute to what I'm doing here, since I'm a volunteer, I would much appreciate it. I'm going to be putting some things in there, incentive things and special things that are just for my people who help me out, but for right now I don't have anything in there yet. I'm just learning that site, so bear with me as I get going on that. There we go. And there's our third one. I think that turned out nice. All right, you guys, I appreciate you spending time with me. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one. And please join me in my next video. I'm going to be doing a project for Mixed Media Minnesota for the design team, which will be fun. And I've got a couple of other things that I've got planned and coming up for the weekend. I have a little bit of a long weekend, and we'll probably be uploading some things. So hope to see you back on my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great day.